If you're thinking about taking your next trip to New Zealand isn't just a place, it's an experience, an image that stays with you forever. This is a country where the word breathtaking is rewritten every morning as the mountains that kiss the sky and the seas hug the shores. Not sure where to go in New Zealand? Keep watching. Starting my list with the beautiful scenery of Southern Alps, the fourth largest lake in New Zealand, Lake Wanaka. The lake is more than 300 meters deep and is 278 meters above sea level. It's famous for its crystal clear waters, alpine scenery, and the Wanaka willow tree submerged at the lake's southern end. The village of Wanaka is located in the Otago area on the shores of the lake. It's an ideal base for outdoor activities and its closeness to Mount Aspiring National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The hot, dry summers are ideal to go fishing, hiking, skiing, wine tasting, or golfing. 4 unique ski areas provide excellent possibilities for skiers and snowboarders throughout the chilly and crisp winters. Therefore, if you consider yourself an outdoor explorer, this may be the ideal starting point for your trip. Next is the mountainous spot, cloaked in native rainforests, Coromandel Peninsula. This northeastern peninsula is famous for its white and golden sand beaches, its woodlands, and other natural wonders. More than 400 kilometers of dazzling white sand beaches and its hilly interior covered in natural rainforests give it a rustic, undeveloped, and laid-back feel. You can go fishing and diving to hiking or cycling. A New Zealand summer on the Coromandel Peninsula, especially on Cathedral Cove, sets a picture-perfect scene. But it's much more than that because of the soul of this place, which dates back to a time only known via myths. Each part of the cove is full of history, thanks to merry locals. Next is a mixed-culture UNESCO World Heritage Site, New Zealand's first national park, Tongariro National Park. It's situated in the center of the North Island and is the oldest national park in New Zealand. It's famous for its extremes and surprises. There are calm lakes, herb meadows, active volcanoes, and ancient eruptions among the park's broad spectrum of habitats. The park has a number of Maori sacred sites. The 80,000 hectares of the park have benefited greatly from volcanic activity. You will be astounded by the emerald lakes, burning craters, lava flows, vibrant silica terraces, and distinctive alpine gardens. Many breathtaking waterfalls add to its beauty and diversity. Number 7 is located between Cape Brett and the Rotorua Peninsula. There are 144 islands that make up this beautiful bay of islands. It's no surprise that it's a famous spot for sailing yachts on world trips and sport fishermen from all over the world. One of the best places to fish, sail, and do other water sports in New Zealand, like try scuba diving. Or take a Fuller's Great Sights hole in the Rock Dolphin Cruise, which is one of the most famous places in the Bay of Islands. When the tide is right, you can sail through this unique hole in the rocks. On a good day, you can see both whales and dolphins. There are beautiful beaches, untouched islands, rivers, woods, and a lot of history. The bay is 35 minutes by plane or 3 hours by car north of Auckland. On the North Island of New Zealand, the seaside city of Napier is located in the Hawke's Bay wine area. This city was rebuilt after 1931 earthquake, and it's famous for Art Deco structures like the Daily Telegraph building with its zigzag design. The Pania of the Reef Monument is located along the Marine Parade's tree-lined waterfront promenade, a representation of the city. It's a wonderful spot to unwind and rest with a romantic vibe about it. It has a feel of an affluent beach town in England. Its collection of Art Deco buildings is combined with some excellent restaurants and cafes, and there are charming streets to explore. There are a number of lovely beaches, as well as an amazing aquarium. It's also a good idea to visit the wineries nearby the city. Next is the top tourist attraction, known for its geothermal activities and merry culture, the town of Rotorua. Located in the center of a volcanic zone, on the shores of the lake that bears its name, around 140 miles southeast of Auckland. It's well known for having amazing hot springs and geysers all over the place. The region's scent will get your attention right away. Its streets are continually covered in steam and mist, and a strong sulfuric odor permeates the atmosphere. A sizable Maori community invigorates the town with their art, culture, and history, while its parks and natural reserves are home to vents, fissures, and lakes. If you could only visit one place in New Zealand, I'd choose Rotorua. Located on New Zealand's South Island, known as the adventure capital of the world. But it's more than just a place to go. It's an idea, a challenge, and a place where people's spirit and desire can be tested. It's surrounded by the tall hills of the Southern Alps and is right on the shores of the deep blue Lake Wakatipu. One of the best ways to see the beauty is from the water on Lake Wakatipu. You can ride your bike around the lake's edge or go on a cruise on its beautiful waters. It's also one of the most wild places to live, but this isn't the empty beauty of a still picture. But Queenstown doesn't just hang out at the water's edge, it goes up to hills that look like they could reach the sky. Human flight is a natural part of Queenstown, whether it's bungee jumping off the Coromandel Bridge or flying over the lake. Like the best Swiss watch, Queenstown is a seamless mix of precision and emotion. Next is the biggest and most populous city in the north of New Zealand, Auckland, also known as the City of Sails. It's not like any other place, there's always something going on here. Climb the Auckland Harbour Bridge for great views of this beautiful city. The Sky Tower stands out like an exclamation point in the sky, letting people know that the city is there. Yet, the quiet beaches of the Hauraki Gulf are just a stone's throw away. Mission Bay Beach has a walk along the water that is close to downtown. If you want to learn more about New Zealand's history and culture, you should go to the Auckland Domain, which is the oldest part of the city. At the famous Auckland Museum, you can see great displays of Maori and Pacific Island items. From the elaborate carvings on buildings to the haka performances that tell stories from the past. Auckland isn't just a place to start or end a trip, it's a goal in and of itself. After Auckland, the Fiordland National Park is one of the most beautiful places to visit in New Zealand. You can go on great walks. Here, you can check out the booming waterfalls, the islands in the water, the untouched jungles, and the big lakes. Doubtful Sound is much farther south and is about in the middle of the park. Milford Sound is the most beautiful and the last fjord in the park. It's a World Heritage Site and one of the most dramatic places in the world. On a tour through, you can see waterfalls up to 1,000 meters, rock walls, and even dolphins and penguins. This place was called the eighth wonder of the world by the author Rudyard Kipling. Cliffs rise up from the dark water, and the tops of the tallest mountains touch the sky. You can take a boat tour, go scuba diving, fish for trout, or take a cruise on the beautiful fjords or fly in helicopter. With its jagged mountain peaks, long mountain ranges, thick woods, and alpine lakes, it's hard to think of a better place for people who like nature and want to go exploring. Coming at number 1 is the capital of New Zealand, Wellington, which is near the southernmost point of the North Island on the Cook Strait. Because of the strong winds, it is called Windy Wellington. It is a small city with a waterfront walkway, sandy beaches, and colorful houses made of wood on the hills around it. The well-known cable car Red Wellington cable car has been going up and down the Kelburn Mountain for more than 120 years, taking people from Lambton Quay, Victoria University, and the Botanic Gardens. The 5-minute walk has become a must-do. The bright red Wellington cable car leaves heads up into the hills every 10 minutes. The 612 meters trip goes through 3 tunnels and over 3 bridges. When you get to the top, you'll be 120 meters above sea level. As expected, the views of the city below, the harbor, and the hills beyond are spectacular. You can relax at Oriental Bay, a beach with golden sand right in the city. You can also dive deep into the city's museums, Te Papa Tongariro, which is New Zealand's state museum and one of my favorite museums in the world. But if you like being outside, it has plenty of action-packed adventures like mountain biking and sea kayaking, as well as beautiful walks around the bay and the hills nearby. So it has everything that anyone could want. Wellington has more restaurants and bars than New York City. This is why it's known as New Zealand's food capital. It also has an amazing nightlife and music scene. Folks, these are 10 beautiful places to visit in New Zealand. I am sure I could make about 50 videos on this country alone, especially with its wonderful landscape. Thanks for watching, and for more videos on other destinations around the world, subscribe the channel.